Hello there, so here's another video about SwiftUI on macOS. So here's what I'm doing today. I'm working on Focuslight. And so before we had this websites list, which I had already updated to have groups on the left and websites on the right. And before we used to have rules right here. And it was kind of awkward. You would pick a group and then you would just enter these two values. Now the second version of Focuslight is going to have a little more advanced rules, so I just need more room than this. This is not enough for me to edit my rules. So I decided to get rid of this entire section here of rules and just stick with websites. And so you'll be adding your groups right here. You'll be editing your website right here. And if you want to change the rules, you will click on the edit button. And that opens up a new window. So I'll just show you real quick how that works. So before we were in the, I think, groups list right here. And in groups list, we have edit. When you click edit, it goes to app delegate and calls edit group. So let's go there. And this is doing some stuff. I'll just clean it up actually. So here's what's going on. It will get an instance of this object, edit group UI state, that's so far empty combined observable object that has a group on it, which is optional. So it just prepares that. And if the window doesn't exist yet, it creates one. Inside it creates a SwiftUI view and it binds our UI state with that SwiftUI view. So this is creating the window. And here we just update the group in the UI state to make sure it's showing, it's working with the correct group. So it's super easy. So the view being used is edit group view. Let's go there. And I'm just playing with this yet. So here's the deal. The group can be optional. So I'm using if let. If this is the case, if no group is selected, that should never happen, because anytime you open the window, you are passing an instance of group. But I'm just keeping that around just for the case. Okay, so here's what we have so far. If we edit, I was just trying a little vertical stick. Also, this window is like connected with the main window, so I'm not sure about that yet, but we'll see. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say editing group, and we'll say name. We'll do some divider and we'll say something like just rules go here, and here we're gonna say frame and do height of 50 pixels, and let's see what it looks like. All right, so the bottom part will be a group. And we'll add frame and we'll do max height infinity. Okay, cool. This doesn't seem to be very much aligned, which is strange. Let me try increasing that to 100. See what happens with the label if I do that. Okay, now it seems, well, I mean, this probably has to do with our window. So it's like centering inside this part instead of this one. Strange. I mean, this is always confusing to me. Okay, let's not get into that yet. Let's just figure out something else, because this would take so much time, and I don't want to spend time figuring out the safe edges and all that stuff. So we'll just not do that. We'll do padding. And we'll say top 20, bottom 20. Okay, and I'll just do a little bit less on the bottom and that'll be it. Okay. All right. So one thing is I want this to be on the left. We'll also add little quote signs. And I want this label to be on the left, so I can probably just say alignment leading. And then, well, that applies to my text. And for my group, I'm gonna say max width infinity. Okay, so that looks roughly like what I want. I'm gonna have to add some padding on the left as well. Great. All right, a little more actually. We'll do like 15. Okay, so we got like the header going, and the next thing would be, let me see. Well, next thing would be the stuff we already have. We're just gonna update them with this new UI. So right here we have rules. If we add a rule, we can specify some things. So what we're gonna do is build UI for editing these. We'll hide everything behind a checkbox. I mean, it probably would be good to do a little bit of drawing right now, but let's just do it directly in SwiftUI. So let me see here. We'll just get right to it. We'll do a checkbox, if there's such thing. What? Is there like a toggle? Toggle. We'll do title. And we'll do, what should it be? So like limit minutes per day. We'll use constant for now, just to see if this works. Cool. We can't change it because it's a constant binding. So what should this look like? There should be the checkbox, and if you check it, there should be an input about like how many minutes per day. So I would probably do something like hstack, and then maybe go back to my edit rule sheet and just copy whatever we have here. So where is the input? Okay, here we go. So minutes per day. And in this case, there we have some bindings going there, but we'll just change that into constant for now. Okay, what was this? Is this supposed to be a binding, or what is it supposed to be? So it's a binding with a string. So why didn't constant work? First, let's try building this. Okay, here we go. We didn't import this one, so we'll do import. Nice, get 2. Okay. That's kind of roughly what I want. I'm going to limit the width of this input, so we'll do frame. And width will be, I'll try 150, see what that looks like. Okay, that's kind of what I was going for, yeah. Now this stuff should become disabled once I uncheck it. But also, it is not it's not aligned quite right. Let me try something. Let me try doing padding leading of some 15 pixels so that it's aligned with the start of the text in the toggle. So yeah, something like that, but more. So how much more? Maybe like 12 more pixels. So I'll just try 30, see what that looks like. Really, that's not enough? Let's try 50. That's too much. 40? I mean, it's kind of a strange way to do it, right? Just guessing pixels and running it again and again. Oh, it's still not good enough. Oh man, I gotta zoom it in. So this looks like it should be one less. So we'll try 39 to see if that looks better. What? So it's like you have to do 2 pixels? Interesting. Now it finally seems aligned, so I'll just close all these sketches. Okay, so I think that's kind of what I wanted. Yeah, that looks fine. Let's try to copy this. Let me see, hstack, so this is that. So I'll copy this, maybe change this to hstack as well, and copy this, and we'll say limit sessions per day, and we'll say sessions and sessions per day, and it's like 4 by default. So let's try that. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. So let's just increase spacing here. It'll make these rules further away from each other. That didn't do anything. Let's try 20. Okay, that's we're kind of getting there. I mean, this is still not good. I don't like it anymore. The thing is, the problem is I'm not gonna fit all my stuff if I do it this way. So let's try instead doing a hstack here. And this sort of thing you would have to design ahead of time. But I'm designing with SwiftUI. So we'll do hstacks here, and we set up fixed width for our labels. And this might be worse, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, no, I mean, it doesn't look right. All right, let's just go back to what it was before, and I'm gonna draw some design later and apply that design. Because I haven't thought it through. I haven't thought about how it should look. So for now, we'll just do that. Now, the next thing we want to do is we're going to add another input, and this one will be about like whitelisting your, or like only allowing at certain time in the day. So for me personally, I'd like to only go on Twitter like between 4 p.m. and I don't know, like 6 p.m. So I'll do only allow during these times. Okay, and we'll do disable or like what's the opposite of allow? allow antonym. Deny. Forbid. Block. We'll just say block. Block during these times. And I think we're gonna have to do like from and to. So like starting time and the start time and end time. So I'm not really sure how to phrase that. Start time. And let's not use, what's this label for anyway? And we'll put in some placeholder like 8 o'clock. And we'll do end time, like 16. And this is when your websites are allowed. We'll copy that, and this is when your websites will be blocked. So let's see what that might look like. Okay, this is getting kind of crowded, isn't it? But first of all, so here's a problem. We set a fixed width for our labels. No, actually, I think we have a fixed width for the entire like row. So as you saw, this is cutting off, and I don't like that. So let's try. Let me see here. So okay, so text field doesn't have a fixed width. The whole thing has a fixed width. Here we go. So label and field have fixed width. So what should we do about that? Let's just try to increase it. But before we, oh, look at that. This is also being messed up. Oh, there's a lot of things being messed up right now. So we need to do some refactoring here. I'm gonna move out my entire checkbox and like stuff inside of it into a separate view as a refactoring. So we'll do like struct checked field, and it will just provide it a checkbox and some space to render some more stuff. So it'll take a label. This will be the label. It'll take a binding. So we'll say var is on binding bool. So we'll just say self is on. And the rest of it, the stuff inside, this will be like the children, render children here. And I don't remember how to do this. I gotta find some component that already does this. And I think I'm gonna have something in reusable views, something like info box. So yeah, so this is how you do it. I'll just try to open this side by side, which looks terrible now. Okay, but we can fix that. Oh, so checked field is generic children, and we'll have to say where children inherits from view, and we'll have children. And here we're just gonna render children like that. Try that. Okay, so now we gotta replace all of our calls to vstack and toggle with checked field. So label is that. Is on is constant true, and children, really? Let's just do that. See if this builds. Okay, that builds. So as children, we'll use these two and get rid of that. Oh, something got messed up. I think it needs to be inside a group. Like it can't, probably can be an array. And it kind of messes things up for me, because this looks ugly now. Well, I guess it's just what it is. I mean, well, maybe this thing could return an array instead. Child, child, child. SwiftUI render an array of children. Oh. Okay, let's not get into that. This would be far too complicated. I'm sure it's possible. Everything's possible with SwiftUI, but still, let's not get into it. I'll just use group for now. So I guess it didn't save us that much. It didn't save us that much code, right? It looks about the same as before. So maybe let's not do this refactoring then. What I really want to refactor is this hstack, this field right here, because this is where all the frames and paddings will be defined. So that's a good code repetition I can get rid of. So let's just struct field view where children view. Forgot children here, children. Let's do label here and var text mining string. Okay, so let's try to use it here. Field, label, start time, text, constant, 8 o'clock. Wait, there's no children for this one. Okay, my bad. No children, so we don't even need to do this. Oh, that's kind of nicer now. So let's copy it and do the same for end time. And run it. Okay, looks like this still looks good. So we'll just do this refactoring for all the fields. Actually, we can just copy start and end time here. And here, sessions per day, we'll replace it with minutes. Oh, this is sessions? No, this is minutes. Okay, and we'll do the same thing for sessions. Just say sessions. And use realistic values here, so like 4 sessions and 20 minutes. See, that still looks good. Looks good. So let's try to make this space here. So let's increase to 20 and 250 pixels. Cool. Let's set up some width for our label. So we'll do here width, frame, width, I don't know how many. So this just needs to be enough room. It looks like 100 will do. And total will be 200. So we have 100 for label and 100 for the field. Cool. Oh no, wait a second. This doesn't look good. So what do we need? More room for our label? Let's try that. Let's try and make everything a little more roomy. What is going on? Look at that. I mean, I gave it 150 pixels and it looks like it's still cutting off the text. So that's strange. What's label? Is this, oh, that's my own. Oh, look at that. Okay, so label has, so this is my own component and it has a width. That's a bit of a problem. So maybe we'll just do var width, because there's like a default width that's supposed to, or we can maybe just increase the default width and not worry about that. Cool. So it finally looks quite good. Let's just get this down to 200 pixels. Okay, there's kind of not enough room in this window. One of the problems, and I don't know, it still doesn't look quite good. Like, this is not a great layout. So, but I helped you do that in like Sketch, in like designing program, to figure out what this should look like. One more thing I can fix right now is this alignment here. Like, this seems to be all out of whack. So what is the problem? We have so each one of these is a V stack, and the whole thing is a V stack. It seems to me that we just need to align each individual V stack. Oh, okay, so let's try add these alignments to each one of them. Well, they all look the same, but it's not better. So maybe the field. A field is an H stack. So strange. I mean, this is, oh, I know what just happened. This is my padding that I added here that's messing it up. Also, I just want to say this doesn't look so bad, because it's like you have these checkboxes and something inside them is indented and denoting it's part of that checkbox. So maybe I'll keep this. Might as well. But one thing is I still want to have a little more room between each rule, so let's increase that. Now let's go back to app delegate and make sure this window is a little bit bigger by default. So what is this window? What is it? What is it? Edit group window, edit group. All right, so we'll just increase height to 500. Maybe do a little more in width to make it a little more proportional. Sites, edit, okay, well, I actually think this was remembered from my own choice, but this doesn't look, it still doesn't look right. I think I want to do it a little bit differently. I don't know yet how, but it doesn't look right. We'll also need some buttons here at the bottom, so that'll be taking space too. But this is not so bad. So I'm gonna wrap it up now, as we're about half an hour in. And so this was really just about building the UI. The next step will be improving this UI and also updating our core data model to make all these things work. I mean, the only purpose of this window is to just bind to your core data model and let you change all these properties and then update the model as you do that. So that's the next step. That's all we'll do here. And the final step to actually make this feature work will be to update the website blocking code and basically respect these new rules. But that's still quite far out. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.